Hey, good morning everybody. Welcome back to Sunshine Acres. Jason here. It is a beautiful day out at the property and we're back in the wood shop, and this is going to be part 2 of coffee table build. So you saw in part 1, I doubt if these things will be simultaneous. There's probably a few weeks in between, but you saw part 1, we ended up finishing the coffee table that ended up going to my mom's house for Mother's Day. So I hope she will enjoy that. And now we're going to move on to Miss Kara's coffee table for the Shine Shack. So it was kind of nice to have the first one to use as practice. So we used the domino cutter for the first time on Mom's coffee table. Didn't show a whole lot of that. Like I said, just kind of using that for the first time, and we'll get into maybe a little more of that on this one. We do have a different pattern for this top. The last one was just straight laminated long pieces. You saw Miss Kara in the last one. We made selection as far as design of this. We've had these pieces cut for a few weeks now, but we've got the big center section. We've got the short pieces here, and then the long bands up the top, and I'll kind of do an overview. So yeah, with this pattern grain, we've got the big one in the center. We've got the 2 small end pieces, and then we'll cap those with the long edges. So as we did mention in the first coffee table video, that for the Shine Shack table for Miss Kara, so we will have a clear coat Japanese cedar top. The base will be red oak, but we're going to paint it, I believe it's kind of a tan cream color. I'll let Miss Kara get into that when that time comes. And the other thing that we're going to incorporate into this is another small side table. So we've got one piece left over, and if you remember, all this lumber is coming out of my dad's shop. My dad passed 9 years ago at this point, and I'm finally getting through one final pile of material that he had. So these are kind of some special pieces. Mom got a table. We're getting one for the mountain condo here, and we're going to use. Where I was heading with all that is this is all I've got of this material. So I'm sure I could find more if wanted to, but I kind of want to keep it to what was in Dad's shop and go from there. So this piece will actually be, and you'll see it'll make sense when we get it done finally, but it's going to be more of a triangle piece. So we're going to cut angles off of the edges, make this to be able to fit between a very small space between a small couch and the chair in that condo. So we'll get on that secondarily. Is that a word? Second? I don't know. But we'll do this first and then work on this guy. So the first step we're going to do is just get this guy glued up, and we're going to do this in multiple sections. I think we will take that off, and we will we'll glue just these guys onto the main piece, and that'll allow us to clean up edges and marry those up and match them. So come along, we're going to get started. This is part 2 of the Shine Shack coffee table build. Come along. All right, so as we said, we're going to join these in multiple applications. So I'm just going to put these 2 small ends on first. And like we said, we are going a little overkill. This table will be, it'll be our little dinner table at the condo. So we want to be able to go and grab it multiple times and bring it vertical. And can't have those guys being flimsy. So we are using the Festool Domino XL cutter. These 2 projects, first time using this tool, so very impressed with it as far as in comparison to like a biscuit cutter or something like that. But if you're not familiar with it, I mean, it creates a void in your product, and then you take a pin and you put it in, you glue it, make the connections, clamp them up. So we're gonna get to gluing and start, put these guys together first. And can you hear those cicadas still? I know I've been talking about it for a few videos now, but this is a few weeks in a row now. Here we're about an hour south of Charlotte, North Carolina, and it is something else to hear. You go into town a few miles down the road, you don't hear it, but out here in the woods, It will get your attention. It's a little creepy. Okay, that's the first part of the glue up there for the top, and we'll let that guy sit overnight. And we'll true up the edges and then marry it up with the long pieces and glue that up tomorrow morning. Okay, so last step, we got everything cut now with the legs. These pieces, as far as the top and the lower band, were already cut. Previously, we didn't know if we're gonna end up with 3 of these or 2, but now that we're gonna paint the base, we know that we're gonna be able to use these guys here. So I've gone through and marked, I don't know if you can see on there, but we have, you know, top band, bottom band, as well as on the bottom, I always mark inside and outside corner and only mark on the bottom. So that tells me I know I can orientate that piece exactly how we need. So we're gonna get the domino cutter back out. And for the sake of production, with as many, call it cuts that we need to make here, I'm gonna try to set a jig up to where I can line these up, clamp them all down, go down the line, hit all the ends of the top and the lower band for the domino cut, flip them all 180, do the same thing, and then we're gonna go ahead and make 4 cuts on each one of the legs. So that will be the inside, top, bottom, inside, top, and bottom. So that's how that is gonna go. Okay, so this will at least be an improvement. We'll do 4 at a time. You can see we've got the center marks on each one of these guys. So we'll make those cuts and then spin at 180. All right, so my mom just texted me, and she lives west of us, and the weather typically travels west to east here, and she said they had a big hailstorm, showed me a video of her back deck. So I just did the hustle and got everything put up under cover, so we should be good to go, ready for that. We'll close the doors if need be. But onto the legs of the coffee table now. I've got everything laid out here, so we're gonna make domino cuts, 1, 2, 3, 8 of them, and then we'll rotate these and make the other 8 cuts, and then the legs will be prepped and ready. We'll at least put the short sides together tonight, and that'll probably be about it for today. But yeah, here we go. So next day in the build of the Shine Shack coffee table, we took this guy out of clamps, and what we'll do is we'll clean up and true these edges here on both sides, as well as the edges on these 2 end pieces as need be. Cut some new dominoes in here, fasten these guys, and get this glued up, so that way the entire top should be ready to work on tomorrow. Okay, I'm trying to squeeze in here where you can see the actual table itself. So trimmed up the edges so they're nice and true now. Sanded the top a bit, very smooth. We're gonna sand the frame a bit more, as well as we'll go ahead and get our spacers in here to hold the bracket that lifts the lid up. So we'll get the blocking in, we'll sand on this guy, And then we've got 3 pieces to cut to build this bottom shelf here. So this is it. All the parts and pieces are there. Pretty happy with how the bottom shelf joined up. Still a little gap, but all in all, pretty happy with this. The top's pretty much ready to go. A little bit more sanding to get some of these lines out, but that looks pretty good. The hardware sits nice in here. That's not attached yet. Look like this. Once it's all said and done. So I had some concerns about this piece, just the design of it having enough weight. I think we're going to be fine. Glue these guys up and then get it down to the garage for finishing. Okay, so we are back in the finish room, aka the garage, and we are in pre-finished stage of these 2 tables. So again, they both have the cedar top and the oak bases. Really pretty simple construction on these guys. So yeah, we're just gonna clean them up, sand them with a higher grit, and get to finishing these guys. The top of both will have the clear coat, and then I'll show you the paint color on the bottom. It's more of a tan almond color, I believe. Let's get going. All right, that's a wrap. This is 2 weeks of coffee table making. So we've got the one in the front that you saw last week. That's going to Mom's house, my mom's house, and we'll deliver that tomorrow. And then we're going to deliver at least a portion of this to the Shine Shack. And this top on this one, it looks really good.
So we think it's Japanese cedar, is that correct?
Yes.
And it is super pretty with some really pretty lines in it and really pretty color. It's gonna look awesome with all of our furniture in the condo. You did an excellent job on it, honey.
I was a little nervous. I'm more of the builder, she's more of the finisher. And I kind of stepped out of my box a little bit.
But your finishing turned out great. It looks beautiful.
I'm getting better. It's like slow down, take the time, do all the steps, sand with the different grits, wipe it off every time.
Oh, there was a day when there was no way I would expect you to finish this.
I'm getting better.
Oh, not just better, excellent. It
So,
turned out beautifully.
But yeah, I think this is gonna look cool. We'll do a video, introduce you guys to the Shine Shack, which is where these 2 pieces are going. That little piece over there is a little oddball that fits between our chair and a little love seat. And you can't buy stuff like that. I mean, it has to be custom made to fit into the spot. So I don't know.
And it matches our coffee table, and that was your idea to have them match together. And
Yep.
I'm really happy how they turned out.
So I think they look cool. So that's it. We're just kind of gloating at this point. So.
Well, that was also another piece from your dad's shop.
It is. So yeah, pretty much everything that you see in these 3 pieces all came from my dad's shop.
That's special.
So there's some lumber left over from his shop as well. So we'll do some cool things with that. But that's very special. Yeah. So
And then,
high five again.
yeah, very happy with how it turned out.
So rambling on, but hope y'all enjoyed this video. And now the other light went off. Let's put some light back on in here. Hold on.
It was my clapping that did it. Maybe it was your jumping.
So that's it. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, tell your mama, tell your friends. We'll see you on the next one, and thank you for being here at Sunshine Acres.
Bye-bye.